Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Sydney from PhoneDoc.com, and today we're going to take a look at the LG Optimus Elite from Sprint. It's a very inexpensive Android smartphone. It has a 3.5-inch display, a 5-megapixel camera, is eco-friendly, and it even has NFC support and ships with Google Wallet. So you can get it for about $30 right now on contract from Sprint. The question is, should you get it? Should you go with one of Sprint's other low-end, inexpensive options? That's what we're going to find out in this full review. Before we start that, I have to say a special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile. We thank them because they send us the phones that we add to our One Paw Bandit game, and that's the game where you guys can win free phones. One of the great things about Best Buy Mobile is that when you buy a phone from them, you don't have to worry about rebates because the price on the tag is a price you pay. So thank you, Best Buy Mobile, for being so awesome. So I mentioned performance briefly while we were in the web browser, and we'll talk about it a little more here. The phone has an 800 megahertz processor and 512 megabytes of RAM. And this is one area where you're really going to notice that you have a low-end, inexpensive smartphone. It definitely has been better than other low-end smartphones that I've tested. You can see just basically scrolling through the home pages, scrolling through the app drawer, everything opens pretty smoothly. But whenever you start using multiple apps, you start multitasking, going from one app to the other, you have several apps open. You saw in the web browser there earlier how it does kind of have a problem with scrolling, not the most responsive, and then as you can see, pinch to zoom. So obviously this is going to be something where you're going to notice that it does have a slow processor. Let's go over to Quadrant Standard and we'll do just a couple of benchmark tests so you can kind of get an idea of what performance might be like. So we'll wait for this test to finish. Okay, so here we have a score of 2020, so not bad. Kind of get an idea of what performance will be like. But overall, like I said, for general simple tasks, it does pretty good. When you get to multitasking, it has problem with gaming. You can see I have Temple Run downloaded. With gaming, it was kind of choppy. It wasn't very smooth. Even just, I'll give you a quick example. If I go to the app drawer and then drag an app from the app drawer to the home screen, you can see the transition. It just took a couple of seconds. I mean, it's not horrible. You can definitely live with it. It's not going to drive you nuts. But it's just not instant like it would be with other devices. So just a quick idea of what performance will be like. So let's turn over to the back of the phone and we'll take a look at the battery. This is where the micro SD card slot is, by the way, so you don't have to remove the battery in order to get to it, which is kind of nice. But here's the battery. It's a 1520 milliamp hour battery. LG estimates that you should get about 7.3 hours of talk time, and considering that it's not a 4G phone, 1520 should be adequate for most people. I mean, there's some 4G devices that ship with 1520 milliamp hour batteries. So considering how much 4G drains a battery, and this is 3G only, you can kind of see this is definitely a large enough battery. I will say on standby, it lasted for days. With that's obviously with minor use, mostly on standby. It lasted like 4 days, which is incredible for a smartphone. Once I started using it, it drained much faster with gaming, web browsing, downloading apps, but you should still easily be able to get through a full day, at least a 12-hour day, and then charge it at night. Now, again, that's going to vary from person to person depending on your usage habits, but for me in testing, I didn't have a problem getting through a full day of use. So let's talk about the camera. The Optimus Elite has a 5-megapixel autofocus camera with a flash and a self-portrait mirror, and I've actually been pretty impressed with this camera. Usually with inexpensive low-end phones, the camera is a wash. Like it's not even worth talking about. You usually just ignore it, but this camera actually takes pretty good pictures. You can see some of the examples I have here of pictures that I've taken. Obviously, detail isn't great. You're going to notice it's kind of blurry in some areas. The detail isn't excellent, but still the detail is better than other cameras on low-end phones. The colors show up very well. You can see some photos taken outside, a close-up shot, and overall the camera has just been absolutely great for a phone of this caliber and this price range. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much with the camera, and it surprised me. So good job on LG for actually including a pretty good camera with this phone. Now the camera also captures video, but it's WVGA 480p, so really not that great. Mostly meant for, you know, sending it to friends with an MMS or something. I wouldn't recommend it for more than that. The quality on that is pretty bad, but still picture quality is good. There is no front-facing camera, as you can see, so just a rear-facing camera only. So that's the Optimus Elite from Sprint. Overall, it lives up to all of its expectations. It's inexpensive, it's budget friendly, and you pretty much get what you pay for. Performance isn't excellent, but for a low-end phone, it's pretty much what you should expect. Just keep your expectations reasonable, and I don't think you'll be too disappointed. So there it is. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, if I left something out, there's something specific you want to know, send me a message on Twitter at phonedog_Sydney. I'll try to answer those questions if I can. But other than that, I will see you guys later. I'm Sydney from phonedog.com. Bye.